When was the last time you were scrolling on your phone and suddenly stopped? You looked at your bank account balance and a thought popped into your head. What's the one small decision I can make today that could change every single paycheck I earn in the future? I'm not talking about gambling on a hot stock tip or chasing some overnight crypto millionaire dream. I'm talking about a move that's steady, simple, and repeatable. So simple that you could do it before you even place your morning coffee order. A move that sends every single dollar you have on a mission. Bring back more dollars. Picture this, rolling a small snowball down a hill. At first, a few flakes stick to it. Then slowly, those new layers start creating layers of their own. And there comes a point where that snowball's speed and size make it unstoppable. In the world of money, that silent force is called compounding. It's the same thing that can build fortunes for everyday people, even if their starting point is as modest as it gets. The real question. But here's the big question. How big does that first snowball need to be so that gravity, or in financial terms, market growth, becomes your unpaid helper? Smaller than you think. Small enough for an average earner to hit, but powerful enough to completely shift your financial future. Today, we're going to figure out that exact number and the roadmap to get there, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck. Clearing the fog around compounding. When most people hear compounding, they picture math formulas, charts, and dusty old textbooks. Or they think it only works for kids who inherit trust funds. The reality? Completely opposite. Compounding is like a marathon runner. It's patient, but relentless. Just like that snowball example, one push and it grows a little, 20 pushes and it can clear an entire path. Money behaves the same way, but only if you give it time, space, and a steady hand. Why not just go big and fast? Now you might be thinking, so why not just go for rental properties, high-flying stocks, or crypto that promises quick returns? Simple. Rental properties. They can be steady, but they come with broken toilets, late-night calls, and mountains of paperwork. Crypto. It can skyrocket, but it can also crash while you're asleep. Side hustles. They work, but they eat up your evenings and require constant self-promotion. Compounding is different. Feed it once, and it keeps working while you're making dinner, binge-watching Netflix, or spending time with your kids. The first milestone. The $1 million dream. A lot of people see $1 million as their ultimate dream number. A round figure, a safety cushion, a freedom machine. Let's do the math. Say you've got 20 years, and you put your money in a broad stock index fund that's historically returned 8% a year. To hit $1 million in 20 years, you'd need about $241,000 to start. Feels like a lot? Here's the twist. If you have 30 years instead, at the same 8% return, you'd only need $100,000 to start. Simply adding time cuts your entry ticket in half. 4 growth lanes. To keep things realistic, let's look at 4 growth lanes. 1. 4% growth, like a high-yield savings account. $286,000 needed to reach $1 million in 30 years. 2.6% growth, balanced index fund, $165,000 needed. 3.8% growth, S&P 500 average, $100,000 needed. 4. 10% growth, best market stretches, $57,000 needed. The pattern? Every extra 1% of growth almost cuts your starting capital in half. That's something they never taught us in school. The real X factor. Most people focus on the growth rate. But the real magic? Discipline. If you withdraw early, skip deposits, or panic sell after bad news, the snowball melts. Rule number 1, start the compounding engine. Then keep your hands off the gears. Why $100,000 is the sweet spot, you might be asking. If $57,000 at 10% is enough, why aim for $100,000? Simple. Life isn't predictable. Markets drop, jobs change, emergencies happen. $100,000 is a cushion that still works even at 6% returns. And psychologically, it's a round, motivating milestone. Example. Put $100,000 into an investment earning 6%, and you'll make $6,000 in the first year. 10 years later, it's about $9,000 per year. 20 years later, it's about $16,000 per year. Eventually, your investments are earning more than you save each year. The biggest mistake? Letting your gains sit in cash or parking them in a low-interest account. Inflation quietly eats away at your purchasing power. The fix? Reinvest everything back into your compounding engine. Treat every dollar like a worker. Don't let them sit idle. Over decades, this habit can double or even triple your results. Reaching 100K faster can regular people hit 100K? Absolutely. $850 per month at 6%. About 8 years? $500 per month at 6%, about 12 years. $250 a month at 6%, about 20 years. It's not overnight, but it's also not a lifetime. You don't need to be a genius. To get 6 to 10% returns, you don't need to be a stock-picking genius. A single low-cost index fund that tracks the broad market has delivered these returns for decades. And checking your account every day? That can actually hurt you. Every dip feels like a punch, and you might pull out right before the rebound. Monthly or quarterly check-ins work best. The picture, a seed you plant in the ground. For weeks, nothing but a thin green shoot. People might laugh because it looks weak. 10 years later, it's a strong tree with deep roots. That's compounding, when you leave your money alone. Exact number and action plan. After all the analysis, the answer is clear. $100,000. The roadmap? 1. Automate your savings, have it go straight from your paycheck to your investment account. 2. Boost your income. Monetize skills and invest the extra cash. 3. Cut unnecessary expenses, unused subscriptions, impulse buys, redirect to investments. Stack these 3 moves and $100,000 becomes a timeline, not a dream. Compounding isn't magic, it's math powered by patience. The earlier you start, the less you have to invest. The later you start, the more you need to add. But the finish line is still possible. All you really need is your first $100,000 snowball, the discipline to leave it alone, and time. So that's it for today. See you in the next video.